Oh, right. We've arrived just in Italy, just on the embankment of the Lake Maggiore, hopefully pronounce it right, at a site called Orchidea, which is a lovely site actually, I've got to be honest. First time we've been to Italy, so it's going to be sort of a new experience for us. And what I can say at the moment, the site looks absolutely stunning and the lake is a beautiful view. Considering it's end of April, I must confess the site is great because it's actually, I wouldn't say it's probably about 3/4 full, so it's probably a good time to come because I imagine it probably gets really busy around these Italian lakes at this time of year. Anyway, so I'm just gonna pan around the camera now and show you the view. What you'll see actually is they've actually got a small little section of the lake which is partitioned off, which is actually dog friendly, so you can actually take your dogs into that part of the lake if they want to bathe, obviously in heat and so forth, which today is beautifully warm, and without obviously upsetting other people because the rest of the lake is pretty much. But I say it is okay. It's brilliant, fantastic site, fantastic location. Travelling down here, some of the roads coming round this lake is very, very tight, especially if you're driving like us, a motorhome, and I can imagine if you've got a caravan it's probably even worse, but certainly a motorhome on itself, large is only a 7.5 metre sort of sort of standard base caravan motorhomes. So it's some of the corners the HGVs have come round and they do sort of come quite close. So I will say if you're a little bit nervous, just take it easy. Just honestly, don't worry about people travelling behind you. Just make your way around it, and you'll have a great time, and you're pitched up. So I'm just going to pan round back to the site itself, just to show you sort of where the location of the pitches are. And we booked early to try and get one on the front, and we should have done. Unfortunately, I made a bit of a mess on the actual booking, but the staff here are really good. I mean, I actually booked I'd actually made a reservation on the wrong week, arrived here, and they got us in, and they got us sort of only one step back from the front, so I was really pleased with that because I thought I was going to end up sort of on the bargain bucket seats at the back sort of thing. But anyway, they were really good, so the staff are fantastic. So the site itself, can't recommend enough, and the place is great. Okay, I'm outside a monument called Isola Bella. I could actually be pronounced that right, but that's my best interpretation of it. But I'll write it down in the comments. I'll also put the location of it. I'll pan it around, get you in there now. So effectively, that's what you've got. There's a lovely little monument down, actually on the lake itself, surrounded by a small shopping centre. Loads of little places to sit down and so forth. I'll just get a flick around. You can actually go into this actually, so what I'll do is I'll actually have a quick flick into this. Just panning the shots around again. So don't know whether you can make out or not. I'll try and get a bit closer. So you see, it's a beautiful little monument. I must say, it's surrounded by beautiful gardens. I'll show you the views from here across the lake to the island. I've got some drone footage of this island, which I'll upload that at some stage in the video to show you what that's like. We're actually going to visit all the islands later on in the week, so I can obviously hopefully give you a bit more information about them at that time. Once again, I'll post that on the video as it goes through. Just beautiful. Everything's clean. Everything's just beautiful. It's very, very Italian, very beautiful. And there's a monument over there, which I'll actually little waltz over there and show you that bit as well. It's got some lovely little cafes around here where you grab a coffee or pizza possibly as well. Maybe I might have to try the local pizzas out at some stage. Beautiful. Say little stroll on here. Not literally within probably 9 kilometres from the campsite. Lovely little cycle. We've got a couple of electric bikes, so we come down here. Got a little dog carrier for the dog and so forth. So it's just beautiful. And the weather. Regarding that, we tend to come quite often sort of around this sort of time, which is end of April, start of May. We find we're really lucky with the weather, and the nice thing is don't quite get the tourists that you would normally get at your high season, which is difficult. Island, you have to carry your dog off. Once again, the piers coming off are a little bit precarious, but once again, I just pick the dog up gently and sort of like carried her off onto the piers. I mean, despite she's a Siberian Husky, so she's not light, but fairly steady on my feet. Just be careful, and obviously to carry dog off there. Most of the steps are a little bit slippery and so forth, so you might not want to. Your dog might be a bit. Especially when it's got to climb off the boat part of it, because there's a bit of a gap between the boat and the pier. You wouldn't want your dog sort of falling in water. As I say, these restrictions are mainly due to us, because we take our dog with us wherever we go. A lot of people with motorhomes. You get on there and you've got probably about 20 various different market stores and so forth, which are a nice look round. It's pretty much cotton clothing, hats, memorabilia, that sort of thing. So it's nice to have a little stroll on there. And then you've got lots and lots of cafes and restaurants, ice cream parlours, that sort of thing, which are all very nice. I would probably we found the most interesting part was actually travelling up these side streets to see the more Italian type places that are actually, and also you get away from the crowds, because we've actually come here in April time, end of April, start of May, because we find the climate's really nice. It's still 24, 25, but yeah, and it really was crowded. So I would probably say that if you was coming here in peak season, these islands are going to be absolutely ram-packed, and you're probably going to find them a struggle even without your furry friend. It's just absolutely ram-packed. So personally, I found this time of year, or even probably this or end of season, probably the best time to come. Hopefully, so there's certainly less restrictions on this island as far as carrying a furry friend with you. It's perfectly okay, but because we'd already seen the market stalls from another one, we probably was phone maybe an hour and a half was probably all we needed. And then we was sort of, so we just sort of wandered around the little back streets and so forth, which was quite nice. So possibly worth a visit, but you probably only need to allow yourself maybe an hour and a half max, I think, unless you're planning on obviously eating there, in which case you'll probably need a bit longer.